The reason you're struggling to score points right now in college football 26 is because you don't have a complete offensive scheme. Luckily for you, in this video, I'm breaking down the only offense you need to be running right now in CFB 26, my elite 5-play Alabama offensive ebook that's super easy to run. You're not going to miss out on any of the plays that I break down today. So let's jump right into it. First, I want to break down the best one-play touchdown or bomb here from the Alabama playbook. It's super easy to run, and let me show you. Alright, so our play here is going to be verticals from gun trips tight end, and there's a couple of different great use cases for this play. The first one is going to be against cover 2. Now, what I want you to understand about this play is it's a great quick snap opportunity where you're not necessarily having to read the defense. Like, you just call this, and if you happen to catch them in cover 2, great. If not, you still have answers, because that is going to create a hole shot on the sideline for your fade route on this outside receiver to get open, because what happens is this outside corner pushes him towards the sideline. This safety is already preoccupied by this fade inside, and then that's what opens up the wide open pass right there on the sideline. So we're going to put them right back into cover 2 right here. Hopefully we can get some more time. If you're noticing how you're not having time to throw that fade, block your running back. If not, you can put him on that Texas route, but you're going to see it again right here, where once again we're going to have that wide open hole shot on the sideline, and if you can catch the ball in stride, I would always recommend that you're able to speed boost to get away from defenders. But also, if you have a really fast receiver, it's like sometimes that mid-read defender isn't even able to get all the way back there to defend like Ryan Williams on his route. So I step all the way up in the pocket, and then you're able to say I'm able to get that pass down the field for a touchdown potentially, which is more likely to be a touchdown than maybe the outside receiver fade, simply because we had a good pocket. We're able to step up into it, step all the way up, and then you see how this mid-read defender, he chooses, instead of just getting back there to guard the fade, he bends it off over here to try to guard this route, opening up the center field for us. That safety can't recover. So really this play is going to first be great against cover 2, but again, you're just going to snap the ball, and if you catch them in cover 2, you see that deep half out there, or you see the outside corners, how they're dropping. That's what's going to tell you that, hey, this is going to be a great opportunity for a one-play touchdown. But also, when they run cover 3, you're still going to have that same opportunity, or a very similar opportunity, because what we know about cover 3 is you're going to just be able to throw this crossing route, or sometimes you can actually just throw that, where if they have that safety coming down like that, well, now you can just throw that as an easy seam pass, where you have 3 verticals, right, attacking vertically up the field on that trip side. And so now it's like, well, if this safety comes down in a hook, well, now this seam is wide open for you just to be able to hit and throw. Also, don't sleep on this crossing route. This is also something that could get open there. So we're going to go with it again right here, put them right back into, cover 3 sky, for example, right? And so now we're going to take the snap and this crossing route, where if you throw it early enough, there's going to be a huge opportunity for you to, pick up great rack yards and really turn these into easy gains. So, I mean, that's really what the name of the game here with this play, verticals, being able to attack every defense. Your tight end corner route also has a great opportunity to create separation, against man coverage, especially like we put them in, DB blitz right here. Boom, take the snap. You're also able to see how that tight end possession catch that ball right in front of him. So really, this verticals play, a great bomb, one-play touchdown against cover 2 and cover 3, but it really has the opportunity to beat every defense in the game. So don't panic if you don't see that specific coverage. All right, the reality is you could have a great one-play touchdown just like verticals that I just showed you, but you also need a play that can beat every defense in the game regardless of the situation you're in. Let me show you that one here from the Alabama playbook. Alright, so we're going to come here into bench from gun tight open, alright? And so really what you're going to do with this play is you're always going to recognize what hash mark you're on. And so right here, I'm obviously on the right hash. So I'm going to call it like this. I'm going to put my B receiver on a shriek. I'm going to put my running back on a flat. I'm going to put X on a curl and Y on a flat. Alright, so we basically have a curl flat concept on the left side and then a flood concept on the right. And so really, this is what's going to be able to beat every defense in the game. Now, what's important about everything beaters is not taking sacks. That is the biggest thing. No sacks, no interceptions, because you can live with incomplete passes. those aren't going to stop drives. But all these sacks that you're going to take, that you guys are taking right now when you're calling some of these plays, that's not going to work. So you're really just trying to go through your read progression. They don't have a flat on that side, so we're easily able to turn that into easy yards. You also want to always make sure you have base protection turned on so EA is not screwing you over in pass protection. But it's like you're going to have a window like I have right here, that corner out on the sideline. So really, like I just said, it's like when you're calling a play like this, never taking a sack is really your biggest goal, because you don't really need to. You have a play that can literally beat every defense, and you kind of just have to determine where you need to go with the ball on every drop back. Your curl is going to do a great job of getting in between zones, sitting down right in front of man coverage defenders, and then your flood concept is going to do a great job of really attacking zone coverage, especially if, like right there, they don't have a flat on the field. Always go through your 1, 2, 3 read progression, right, before the snap with every play, but especially this one, identifying who your first read is going to be, which is going to be the running back here. Then you're going to look to your curl route, right, Bernard in the middle as your second read, only if the first read's not open. And then the third read is to really step up in the pocket and hit that tight end corner out, like you're able to see right here, where we're going to have that tight end corner out right there, easy completion, and we're able to turn that into easy yards. The worst thing that you can do is like pass up a check down looking for a deeper throw, and then it isn't open, right? They just take away the deeper pass, they drop their flats really far back. But it's like most of the time, if they just give you that, that's easy 5 yards. That's what's going to keep you ahead of the chains. And you're seeing how I've gone through it multiple times, like at least 10, 12 times here. No sacks, and most of them are positive plays. Like I said, incomplete passes you can live with, but it's like you're just going to be able to attack every defense that they have against man. Obviously, looking to your curl, looking to your corner, where your curl is going to be really reliable against off man, but especially against zone, looking to your corner, your flat, your curl, all of these are going to be really great options for you here, stepping up and finding that guy down the field. So really, like I said earlier, you need a play that you can go to in any situation. First play of the game, final play, fourth down, you can go to bench here, set it up just like this, and go through your read progression. Alright, so if you found these first 2 plays from the Alabama offensive playbook helpful here in CFB 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day to help you guys get better, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Alabama offensive ebook and all of my updated meta tips to help you get better here in college football 26, go down below in the pinned comment, join CFB University, where you're going to be able to use code YouTube to get your first month for 20% off. Like I said, everything is a written breakdown, saved on your phone during gameplay. You never have to go surfing through a video to access the ebook or any of the tips that go along with it. So I highly recommend you check it out, and let's jump right back into the video. Because next I want to break down the best quick snap play here from this Alabama playbook. The best way to play offense is to snap the ball before the defense can set up, and this play here from Trips tight end is going to do a great job of that. Let me show you. Alright, so we're going to come into gun trips tight end right here, and we are going to call PA slot corner, alright? This is going to be our route concept. We're going to put Y on a streak, and we're going to put our slot receiver on a flat, and then our running back, you can put him on a return route, you could put him on a curl or a drag. It's really up to you. I typically just like to put him on a drag like this, but again, quick snap, hike the ball, not that many adjustments, right? You could really leave your tight end on a corner if you wanted to, but it's like, boom, it's really quick, right? You just set it up, just something simple like this, and now you're ready to go. Again, make sure you have base protection turned on in your coaching adjustments so you don't have to do it at the line. But now it's like, okay, there's no flat on that side. I throw my flat, pick up easy yards, right? With a lot of these plays, this could really be considered an everything beater too. That's how good this actually play is. But it's like, it doesn't really matter what you do with your route concept. You're just going to see how, boom, that tight end's going to be open in the middle. Just don't take a sack, right? That's the whole goal. Someone's going to be open. If you want to put Ryan Williams in a return route instead, that's fine as well, because now you're able to see how that could do a better job against man. Tight end is able to beat man coverage right there and get open across the field. So not letting them set up their defense is really going to be your best friend here. It's going to make it a whole lot easier for you to, play offense, because, here in this game, like, they're going to have to make a whole lot of adjustments. We're going to see how that's this is actually a crazy thing. I've never seen that animation before where the play action just doesn't work. But anyway, we just go with it again right here. Boom, take the snap, Don't let them set up their defense. Hit our tight end drag right there. Good free form. Get that ball out in front of the receiver and turn that into easy yards. So it's like we're going through this play again where it's like, okay, now I'm anticipating possibly a blitz from that slot corner, that just where that safety that walks down. They do blitz, but we're able to pick it up and find our guy open down the field for an easy gain. So it's like not letting them set up their defense, letting them make all these adjustments, just going really quickly, snapping the ball, knowing you're going to have someone open down the field, and then just going through the read progression. First looking to your tight end underneath, then possibly your slot receiver, Ryan Williams, and then your corner out. It's just going to make it so much easier for you to pick up yards every single play. Like, you're able to see how we're going to have that corner out open if Ty Simpson doesn't sail that. But that's really what it is. Snap the ball before the defense has the opportunity to set up, and you're just going to be reaping the benefits. I mean, just like I am right here, time and time again. PA slot corner, trip tight end, super effective. All right, before I jump into those final two plays here from the Alabama offensive ebook, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day still to get you guys better here and get ready for 27. So I highly recommend you go down below, hit that subscribe button. It's literally free. What are you thinking? Subscribe today, get better with BLT, and let's jump into those final two plays. Because next I want to break down the most toxic RPO here in this Alabama playbook that not enough players actually know how broken it is. Let me show you. Alright, so we're going to come into gun tight open here, motion, RPO, read flat. Alright, so this is going to be our play. This one is really broken against every single defense in the game because if they don't get bailed like that with a random bump, it's like you're just going to have easy yards out here, whether they're in man or they're in zone. So when they're in man coverage, or they were in zone right there, when they're in zone coverage, you really just need for your blocks to set up. That's really the most important thing. I mean, getting blocks set up is important regardless, but you're just going to see how this is just going to be an easy throw out here because that read key defender, that defensive end, if he crashes down like this, boom, and now you just throw the flat. If he kind of moves out to the flat, then you just know you can hand the ball off or keep it with your quarterback. So that's really the read, right? He comes down again, and so look at all this green grass that we're going to have out to the sideline. Now, I would recommend that you would have your fastest receiver like Ryan Williams here, you know, getting this ball instead of this man right here. But this is really what makes it dangerous against man coverage because the ball is going to get snapped. The ball gets snapped before he completes his motion. Most motion plays, like, you can motion snap people, but this ball gets snapped as soon as he enters the tackle box. Like, and so now this man is just trailing him. You see how he kind of stutter steps, hesitates, and he's so far behind this guy. He's so late, and now that's just going to allow us to get out to the sideline and pick up like 15 yards before he has the opportunity to even make contact with us. Again, a lot of the time as well, you're going to be able to turn that into easy yards in that seam area, especially against zone coverage where that read key defender decides not to come all the way down. You're able to see it again right there where easy yards out there on the edge, hit a juke, and turn that into easy yards. So it's like, it doesn't really matter what defense they run. If they happen to defend it, then you can kind of make the read, you know, with the on the read key. You see how he crashes down right there, you know, towards the running back. So then I just end up keeping it with my quarterback. And that's something that not a lot of players are going to, you know, recognize and see is the opportunity for you to just keep it with the quarterback. So they're not going to defend it. But it's like also, like again, right here, he's going to crash down. Now I could honestly do both. I could keep it and then decide to throw it out there. Now, I necessarily wouldn't recommend doing that too often, but it's like if you noticed how the lane's not open for you, so again, keep it. Although I would say that you're just going to throw it out here time and time again. Like, it's just going to be time and time again that you're throwing it rather than actually, you know, keeping it with your quarterback. It's only if you really can't, you know, hand it off, but you're just able to see how right there, perfect example how it's like just very easy to get the ball out into space, very toxic. If you go through any other RPO really in this game, what you're just going to notice is it's going to not be this good. The ball is not going to be able to get out here as fast, and then you're not going to be able to turn this into easy yards like this. We get two great blocks, we make one guy miss, and then we speed boost after the catch to turn that into easy yards and the touchdown down the field. So start calling motion RPO read flat here from tight open. Really any situation in the game, this is really great in the red zone on fourth down, gotta have it situation because it's like it's going to be impossible for them to run man coverage, and even when they run zone, you just get some key blocks. You're going to be picking up first downs time and time again. All right, and that final play here from the Alabama offensive ebook that I want to break down is actually going to be the best red zone play because if you can't score touchdowns in the red zone, your offense is going to be super stagnant. Let me show you the best red zone play here from this Alabama playbook. Alright, so we're going to come into gun F twins over, and we are going to put our wide receiver at quarterback. That's going to be the package that we're going to be using right here, because now what we're going to notice is we're going to come into jet QB power. That's going to be our play. Now, it's going to be your starting receiver who gets to play quarterback here, so I would recommend in your depth chart you have your fastest, most elusive guy really at this spot. But this is really going to make punching the ball in the end zone in the red zone just way easier for you, because it's a downhill run that's going to be very hard to contain. Anytime a guy comes in motion, you're going to notice how people's user, they're basically going to like cheat over towards the sideline because they think it's like a jet sweep, right? Now you do have a jet sweep here in this, formation, but it's like it's going to be really easy for you to just get downhill and pick up yards, especially when you're in a goal-to-go situation. As we know, goal-to-go situations, some of the most challenging to actually score touchdowns with, but it's like when you can go to this play, and we're gonna have another play here, but when you can go to with the quarterback, which is really just your running back here or your receiver, you can just speed boost. You see how easily I'm boosting to get away from these guys, and just it's like getting that initial boost at the beginning of the play is what's going to allow you to get downhill faster and get to your spot sooner, which is going to result in a lot more touchdowns and a lot less just getting stuffed at the goal line. You're going to see right here where I decide to choose that gap, kind of hesitate a bit, but then I'm able to boost and get to my spot and score. So it's not like this isn't a passing play where you're going to, I can just say, okay, this guy's going to be open like every single time, like an everything beater, but it's really just like you're going to continue to go to this time and time again and just see the results of like, we're just going to be able to get to our spot really easily and score touchdowns just like that very, very often. So really that's going to be the first play here, first great red zone play. Really nothing to break down. You call that against every single front in the game, and you're just going to see how effective that's going to be, just following your blocks, speed boosting to your spot, and making sure you have a pretty elusive guy. But also, we can come into jet QB counter now, because once they catch on to the fact that you're going with the jet QB power to the right, now you're going to switch it up and go to the left. Now, I would really say that this is a counter. It's a counter run, obviously, but you're using it as the counter to the first run, because I think the first one, the QB power, is better than this one, but it's like eventually they're going to probably catch on to it, and you can still see how you get into a tackle battle, you can speed boost, and you can still score touchdowns with this. But again, you have the motion going towards the right, their user is going to jump out to the right, but now all of your blocks and your player are going to go to the left right here. So it's all about just getting to your spot, following your lanes or following your blocks, and being able to get downhill and score. So again, bring this guy in motion, and then you just see how it sets up. Again, everything comes down to blocking with run plays in the red zone. So it's like, this is why I say I'm not necessarily going to go to this every drive in the red zone. I'm just going to go to it more so if I already feel like I've exhausted jet QB power and they're just stopping it. Well, now I throw this at them, and you can see how you're probably just going to get stopped more, because I just don't think the blocks are quite as good as the other one. But you still see how right there I see the gap open. It's a small gap, but when you can speed boost to get to your spot, it's going to make it a whole lot easier. So bottom line here with these two plays, it's like go to the jet QB power to start, and then be able to speed boost to your spot. And really when they catch on to it, you still have to kind of make the determination, speed boost here with jet QB counter. You can go towards the counter side, the left, here in this case, or you can cut it back to the right and be able to score. But again, scoring touchdowns in the red zone going to be super, super important for you, and going to these two plays, which are really good runs, is going to make it to where you don't have to necessarily turn your brain on and pass the ball, and you kind of just rely on a gadget player like Ryan Williams. Alright, so if you found that breakdown of the Alabama offensive ebook helpful here in College Football 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down College Football 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day, and you don't want to miss out any of the content that I have, because I'm the only one still breaking it down, and I'm going to be more than prepared to help you guys out in College Football 27 when it drops in a few weeks. So go down below, hit that subscribe button. It's literally free. And if you want my full Alabama offensive ebook plus all my tips, meta updates in written form to save on your phone and never have to go surfing through a video again, go to the link down below in the pinned comment to join CFB University, where you can get your first month for 20% off when you use code YouTube at checkout. It's really the best way to get better and start to understand this game at a higher level, and I highly recommend you check it out. But if you want to see a gameplay that I just uploaded of me running this Alabama playbook against a real opponent, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.